Player Career Mode looks very fun to do in the new FC24 game, with the new features EA have announced. Here are the best players to use in a player career save. First up is Donny van de Beek, who has been plagued by injuries since joining Manchester United. He had his best years in the legendary Ajax Champions League season, where they reached the semi-finals. In the summer transfer window, he was close to joining Ligue 1 side Lorient, but the deal eventually didn't happen. The goal with Van de Beek is to revive his career by moving to a different club. It's your choice whether you want to be loaned out and eventually try to get into the Manchester United starting 11 again, or make a permanent move elsewhere and start over completely. In the end, you need to make Van de Beek reach the potential he was destined to achieve back when he was playing at Ajax. Due to injuries, Ansu Fati couldn't keep up his amazing start he had when he first broke through at Barcelona. He made a shock loan transfer to Brighton this summer, which also makes him a great player to keep an eye out on during this Premier League season. The goal in an Ansu Fati player career is to revive his career at Brighton during the first season. After his loan ended, weigh up whether you want to become a club legend at Barca or start off fresh at a different club. Karamoko Dembele has been called a big wonderkid for quite a few years now, but hasn't quite lived up to the potential just yet. This summer he moved from Ligue 1 side Brest to Ligue 1 side Blackpool. Having scored just one goal at professional club level so far, you need to make his loan at Blackpool a successful one. Revive his career even further by trying to become an important player at Brest, go out on another loan elsewhere, or force a permanent move to a new club and perhaps even a new league. Romelu Lukaku has made a few mistakes over the past few years, which includes forcing a move back to Chelsea from Inter, and halfway through the same season trying to force a move back to Inter. Whilst the Italian giants couldn't pay the full fee to get Lukaku back on a permanent transfer, the Belgian striker loan period at the club ended and so he returned to Chelsea. But of course Chelsea moved on without Lukaku and so he had to look for another club. And he found a new club in AS Roma. Now he needs to prove everyone who was doubting him wrong and become a world-class striker again that he once was at Inter. The goal is to revive his career at AS Roma, who will unfortunately still be called Roma FC in FC24, and create a fantastic partnership with Paulo Dybala, who is also reviving his career in Rome. Unfortunately, it's unlikely you will have Jose Mourinho as your manager in a new game, as he wasn't in FIFA 23 either. If you haven't seen my post about the Dardai family at Hertha Berlin yet, you have missed out. The manager at Hertha is the father of 3 sons, who all play in the first team currently. Marton has played the longest at the club and is probably the best option to do a player career mode with. He was also 71 rated in FIFA 23 and already had a good 82 potential too. Your goal will be to become a club legend by staying at least a couple of seasons and helping Hertha get back to the Bundesliga. You will play together with Marton's other 2 brothers, so be sure to enjoy playing the game when they play too. Joby made an interesting move from Birmingham City to Sunderland this summer. For us career mode fans though, Sunderland is a great team to start a save with. They already have their real stadium in the game, have a few other nice talents and of course have a big history in the world of football. And Joby definitely has a few goals to achieve in his career as well, especially when seeing his brother Jude moving to Real Madrid this summer. The goal is to help Sunderland get back to the Premier League and try to catch up with Joby's brother by eventually transferring to a top team and become a football legend. You can also try to get a transfer to the same team Jude will be playing at, and so having both brothers playing together. Ismail Saibari was quite unlucky during the previous few seasons at PSV, having trouble scoring and making a real impact when playing for the first team. After winning the Under-21 World Cup with Morocco in the summer, he has started off his new season in a new position and finally making his mark. Instead of playing as a winger, he's now playing in a number 10 role as an attacking midfielder. And he scored 2 goals in a very important match against Rangers to get PSV into the Champions League as well. The goal is to help Saibari have a fantastic first season in career mode at PSV, both in the Eredivisie and in the Champions League. To make it a bit more difficult, you can only leave PSV when you have won an Eredivisie title. After that, you can search for new adventures in a top 5 league and make Saibari a world-class playmaker. They are the younger twin brothers of Manchester United summer signing Rasmus Højlund, but they will sure make up for an interesting player career save in FC24. Oscar and Emil Højlund both play for Danish side Copenhagen and are part of the first team. They aren't in FIFA 23 but should be in the next game. Both being 18 years old, they do play any different position. Emil is a striker and Oscar is a central midfielder. So you have to pick one of Oscar or Emil Højlund, help Copenhagen to a few league titles and try to eventually get a rating that equals or exceeds Rasmus Højlund and try to catch up with your brother. Tai Chong was deemed as a big talent a few years ago at Manchester United but couldn't quite get into the first team. After a loan period at Birmingham City, he made a permanent transfer. This summer he moved to newly promoted Premier League side Luton Town. The club has a unique story of course, but are also the favourites to get relegated straight away. You will have to help Luton survive in the Premier Premier League by doing a player career with Chong. After a few seasons, you should look to sign for a bigger club and help Chong fulfill the potential he was destined to achieve. Luka Jovic was reviving his career at Fiorentina last season, scoring 13 goals in total. After an unsuccessful period at Real Madrid before, he now made a permanent move from Fiorentina to AC Milan. With Olivier Giroud and Noah Okafor also being striker options at the club, you have to try your hardest to get a starting spot and not become a regular bench player. And of course, Milan wants to retain their Serie A title, so help them achieve another Scudetto. The last option is Andy Carroll. Yes, the injury-prone striker made an interesting move to Ligue 2 side Amiens this summer. At 34 years of age, tried to help the club get promoted to the first French division before retiring and ending his career on a high, whilst also becoming a successful manager after this as well. With who will you do a player career in FC24? I'm tempted to do a Karamoko Dembele save myself. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel to see more career mode tips, and I will see you at the next video.